Welcome to Live with Good Vibrations. Today, I am so excited to have a special guest, Lorraine Gorbanfor, with us here today. She has a background with health and wellness, and we met through doTERRA essential oils. And so I have a couple questions that we're going to go through today to learn about sound healing and how essential oils can kind of be connected all together through good vibrations. So Lorraine, my first question for you is, what is your brief background and how has your story led you into the field of sound healing?
Well, first of all, hello, and thank you for inviting me to join in. I've enjoyed your videos last week, and I'm honored to be a part of this. My background is health and wellness, and my first career was as a registered dietitian. So I worked for 20 years teaching people how to eat healthy, to take care of their bodies and minds. I really had a passion for that career, and it was a lot of fun working with individuals to improve their health. And then after 20 years, I was ready for a change. So I started getting involved in yoga. And the more I practiced yoga, the more I wanted to learn. So I went into a yoga teacher training program. And that was 12 years ago, and I finished my training 11 years ago. So I've been teaching yoga for 11 years, and I continue to do advanced trainings. And the world of yoga has other dimensions right now. People get into essential oils, and they also get into the sound. And so I started exploring both of those. And so not only now am I practicing yoga, but I'm also doing introducing oils in my yoga classes, but I'm also introducing sound. After finding a sound center right in my neighborhood, the Synthesis Sound Center, I was so taken by the sound journeys I was doing there that I decided to study with Leanne, who owns the center. And I studied with her for 2 years. And now I've been doing my own sound journeys for 2 years. The sound is another great way to take care of us, mind and body. So the yoga, the essential oils, the sound healing, all are great ways for our physical and mental well-being. And just like in yoga, the more I know about yoga, the more I know I don't know. I continually learn about yoga, but I'm also continually learning about the sound. And the same, I continually learn about the essential oils. So I like to say that I'm keeping my brain cells alive with all this learning, and being able to share with others is also a great way for me to even incorporate it more in my life and the lives of my family and friends.
Wow. Thank you, Lorraine. I actually met Leanne maybe 2 years ago. She took me into her sound healing space, and I was just captivated by all the instruments and everything that she had. So that's so amazing you got to study alongside of her. So
yeah, she does have an amazing center, and I feel very fortunate that she's so close by that I can study with her.
Great.
Continue studying with her. Yes.
So my second question, what is your knowledge about the ancient Solfeggio tones that we talked about in last week's videos?
Well, as you mentioned, the ancient Solfeggio scale is most famous for use in the Gregorian chants. The roots of the scale and its many healing frequencies corresponding to the notes were equated to electromagnetic frequencies that related to ancient healing. These frequencies align you with the rhythm and tones that form the basis of the universe. These Solfeggio frequencies and patterns are based on the Pythagorean method. So that is really important here. Pythagoras is credited with being the father of mathematics, the father of sacred geometry, the father as well of music. And he was alive around 600 BC. So he discovered basically the musical intervals and taught that you could heal using sound and harmonic frequencies. And that is where I believe the solfeggio tones were developed from. So I think we need to give credit to Pythagoras and all the work he's done. This can get pretty deep. There's some great books out there. There's one called The Healing Codes for the Biological Apocalypse by Dr. Joseph Barber and Leonard Horowitz. So for anyone who wants to delve deeper into the healing power of sound, then these are great resources. As far as those tones, the Solfeggio tones are concerned, I don't have a lot of experience with tuning forks, but that is one way to work with that. I work with Lydian chimes and I work with Tibetan bowls. And again, I continually learn about this world of sound healing.
Do you want to show us the chimes and the bowls now?
Okay, the chimes I work with are Lydian chimes, and they have been custom made, handmade in Germany. There are 9 chimes. They are correlated with the chakra system. They are very pure sounds made of a brass alloy and zinc. And they can be used to guide you into deep healing relaxation. Would you like me to play them for you now?
Definitely.
Okay, so again, these were made in Germany. Very pure sound. So perhaps just take a moment to soak in the energy and the sound of the chimes.
Wow, it's such a soothing, calming sound too, just in it by itself.
And as I guide people into journeys, I also use Tibetan bowls. So I have a few Tibetan bowls, and these can be used also for deep relaxation and in healing. So I can sing the bowl. I also have a Tibetan bell. And again, I have several other bowls that I don't have right here now. But these are just some of the tools that I use to guide people to deep relaxation and
Thank you.
healing, physically and mentally.
Thank you for sharing that with us. So how have you incorporated the essential oils? Have you used it in your sound healing practice, or is it mostly in your yoga practice?
I do use them sometimes at the start of a sound journey, if I have a smaller group, I may bring my rose oil out, rose oil having the highest frequency.
Yes, it does.
Yes, and being my favorite oil also. And we know that essential oils have been found to have the highest frequency of any natural substance known to man. So I think that the essential oils with the sound can be very powerful and and amplify the healing.
So what's your favorite essential oil for grounding and centering before a healing session?
My favorite oil, I have three favorites. Sometimes I use rose, sometimes I use frankincense, and sometimes I use in tune. I love in tune, I love patchouli, and that can help me be focused and help me be in tune with the needs of the group and the clients that I have.
Great, thank you. Yes, you mentioned you use rose, but rose is such a high frequency, so sometimes using lower frequencies to help grounding, like
Yeah.
frankincense, is a little lower. It's still above the normal amount. Like we have 60 to 70 megahertz in our body, and frankincense is in the 100 megahertz. So even it has a little higher frequency. So that's what's going to help our bodies before grounding and centering for
Another
healing too. So that's a great oil, frankincense, to use. Wow.
Another oil I like to use is balance. Because one of the many healing qualities of Tibetan singing bowls is trying to bring balance and synchronization back to the hemispheres of the brain. So this oil may amplify the benefits of the singing bowls, creating that balance. So that's another oil, a blend that I may use in my journeys.
Great. So what significant sound healing frequencies or instruments should we cover on any upcoming sound healing education series on Live with Good Vibrations? Do you have any recommendations?
Well, I love my chimes, and they are associated with the chakras. So even working with the different chakras, the sound and the oils associated with that, that might be a fun workshop even, or just a small introduction here on a video.
Wow, great. I love those chimes.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I first heard those about 2 years ago, and just you get instant like calming effects
Yes.
from them.
The sound is so pure, it reaches you at a cellular vibrational level.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What are some of your recommendations to the audience that they could incorporate at home that involve sound healing and possible uses of essential oil?
Well, on the Synthesis website, Leanne does have some recordings and some samples, so that's what I would start with. There are some other sound healers out there that I don't have the list in front of me, but at perhaps a future session, I can give some more recommendations. But for now, starting with what the Synthesis Center has, they have several samples at their website. That would be a good start.
And that's Milwaukee, Wisconsin, too, if anyone
Yes.
wanted to go. Great. I also have a recommendation I just thought of for the solfeggio tones. You can go on YouTube and they will play those frequencies for hours on end. So just like the monks used to meditate to those. I mean, listening to earbuds, the digital it doesn't give you the pure frequency, but it also still has benefits. I recommend doing a sound healing in person, but
Right, definitely.
YouTube does have a lot to offer with just chiming into different frequencies for healing as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you, Lorraine.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Well,
All right.
Thank you everyone for watching. It was just such an amazing opportunity to get to meet Lorraine and hear what she had to say. Stay tuned for the rest of the week while we dive into more solfeggio tones and live with good vibration.